To use AI or not. It's been a huge debate, even in my life, and I love keeping things simple. So let's dive into that today. Welcome back to another episode of Maria Conde, Business and Bliss. And I am Maria Conde and a life and business strategist. I'm all about minimal luxury, keeping things easy, helping my clients get out of sabotaging behaviors and self-sabotaging behaviors and losing the struggle, finding more freedom and abundance, time and money freedom in their life. That's what I'm all about. And I cover a lot of territory on my channels because I want to lean into not just, the money mindset side of things, but also life, because I look at things from a more holistic viewpoint. That's a little bit about me in the nutshell. I'd love for you to like, subscribe, check the boxes, whether you're listening on YouTube or on the podcast, and support my channel. And thank you for that. So let's dive into today's topic about to use AI or not and what it can do for you. I run a membership. It's called Be Inner Circle. And I've done a couple different sessions on AI in there, and some people are really leaning into it, and some people are like, no way, man. And there are times and places in my life where I think it's amazing, and there's times where it's like, this is not cool. So we're going to unpackage a little bit of that today. And I'd love to know your thoughts on it in the comments below, because I know everyone's got an opinion on this. When I look at it from a business perspective, for me, the intent is to make my life simpler where it makes sense. And I've recently been testing out, which I'll show you some of the results of what it looks like. I've been using ChatGPT for a very long time. Then I started using Gemini because I just wanted to check it out. And I recently just started using Claude. And when we think about it, there are many other spaces that you can use AI. I was testing out ManyChat recently, which is AI driven. And a lot of people don't realize that there's AI behind a lot of things out there. AI is artificial intelligence, and it's using the power of technology to help you make the tasks easier and less repetitive. And if you're doing things over and over, I personally love using AI as a brainstormer and to help me write. I am not one to to type in a prompt into ChatGPT that says, write my this week's newsletter. And I cut and paste that into my newsletter. Here's the thing though, I do use it for that, but in a different way. So let me because I'm going to derail from my notes, so I always got to go back to them. The intent for AI for me when I'm teaching in my business and coaching is to simplify things in life. And I'm all about ease, flow, losing the struggle. You do not have to make things harder. We live in a world where we are programmed for things, you want things to be hard because then you feel like I'm working hard, so I'm going to be successful. It doesn't work like that. That's a myth. There are lots of people that work really, really hard and are not successful. And there's people that work intentionally and are very, very successful. So for me, you know, I have a line where I don't think AI serves well. And I'd love to know your thoughts on this because if you need support, for instance, and you get the little chat boxes and it's all AI driven, drives me crazy. Personally. Yes, if I have a simple question, where do I go find XYZ? That's cool. The bot can tell you it's lovely. But if I need customer support, I want a human being. And I would not want to put an AI bot on my own client servicing side. You need a human being, in my opinion. Unless it's, what's your address? Because that's a common thing that people might be, if you have a service-based business or a product, like a storefront or something like that, your hours, things like that, those make sense to be sort of AI or bot driven. But when it comes to helping a client or a customer, I really think that we need to go back to having human touch on that. I think it's more valuable in your business. Just my opinion. So I think customer support really needs to be human. There are a lot of other places you can do a lot of marketing with AI. I have in my Business in 30 program, I have the whole thing set up so that it can brainstorm with you your whole business foundation. Knowing all your skills and talents in your zone of genius, what you'd be good at, business ideas, and it helps you niche down and figure all that out, come up with make a course or a membership or an online business that's going to move you forward. And I've built all the prompts for that. That's a way to help. Like I said, I use it for brainstorming, right? And I'm gonna have a sip of water because I'm losing my voice. I also use it for my marketing. I can put in, even for my podcast, which I'll show you in a second, podcasts and my YouTube channels. I can actually put in prompts and guide it to what I want the outcome to be. And it does a lot of it for me. It scripts a lot of these videos. And I don't always use them verbatim. I just go through, oh, that's a great point. I never thought of that one. And I kind of pick out what I really want to talk about. I have a whole, output from ChatGPT here. How you can simplify your business, how to start with AI, the different tools that you can use. And that was a really simple one. I don't, and I wanted to add my own experience to this one in particular because I've been using it a fair bit. And I wanted to explain how I use it in my business because I don't believe in typing a prompt in, it's spitting out stuff and you just take it. AI makes mistakes. It's not always accurate. You have to know your own business. You can't just take things verbatim. My newsletter that goes out every week, I say, you know what, this week I want to talk about XYZ. And, I think that this morning's that went out was about morning routines. And I said, here's a couple scenarios of what works in my life and how, the area that I want to lean into on this and, the sort of my own slant on things. And then it writes it. And then I look at it and go, okay, that's not going to work for me. I don't believe in that. You can't just cut and paste that stuff. You need your own voice in things. That's how you're going to build some know, like, and trust factor with your clients or potential clients. How are you going to nurture your list? Just doing cut and paste out of there is not going to serve you very well. People want human connection. They want stories. Sometimes I'll type my story into chat and have it incorporated in. I've done that before because I want to put my own piece to it. I just don't want it to be cut and paste out. I get a lot of responses back on my weekly newsletter. People love it. It's called 2-Minute Transformations. And it's just simple for people to just grab some little quick, oh, okay, I can implement that, or I can do that. And oh, thanks for the reminder. That's how I use it for like a weekly newsletter. I've written my nurturing sequences when I'm building a funnel. I've had it curate a whole entire course for me, but you need to know what prompts to put in. You can't just go willy-nilly with it. It needs to know who your ideal audience is, how you're trying to serve them, the pain points, and it can help you do some of that if you're going through the right prompts. It can be very, very powerful, very, very helpful, but it can also cause you a lot of grief if you're not using it right. So make sure if you're using it that you've learned how to use the prompts. You can play around with it. Here's another piece too. You don't put confidential information in there. If you've got a top secret thing that you're working on, you're not going to pop it in there because that is like a public domain of information to a certain degree. Especially, I just had a little note come up on my Gemini saying that it uses those, the output for accuracy and things like that, and making sure like they're using what's coming out, like in and out. So it's being reutilized by the system. So you got to be, mindful of it. And that's where I see people like, I don't want to put all my things in there. It's not going to take your course and give it to somebody else necessarily. It's learning and growing as it's going on. And you shouldn't be taking things out exactly the way they are. If I outline a course, I I have a money program that in 2017 when I built it, it was called Wealthy Woman's Way. And then over the years it got switched over to Simply Wealthy. And I want to redo it this year, but I really want to change it up because I want to mix money and manifesting together. And I'll probably go back to my original name because I really like that name. And so I'm working with the prompts to actually, get ideas. It's like doing a mind map. Same sort of concept, right? It's brain dumping all these ideas down. Some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. I want to incorporate my own pieces into it, but I use it as a starting ground. So I'm going to share with you the difference between the three different programs that I've been sort of playing around with. And I'm going to see if I can share my screen. So let me just see if I can get in here and see if we can share this. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we'll see. So that's today's script. Does it actually show? I'm hoping it actually shows this because my screen is highlighted on this. So this is one that one of the YouTube podcasts that I'm working on is the power of hypnosis, how it really works and its benefits. So you can see this is Chat GPT. It actually does a pretty good detailed outline for me. Here's the thing though, I have the paid version of Chat GPT as well. I have fed it all the information in the background profile about me, my business, my ideal clients, all that stuff. So it knows what context to put things in, very specific to me. And then there's Gemini. I wanted to use Gemini. And this was one of the recent shows that I did. Simple Luxury on a Budget is what it was. And I put the same prompt in three different AI tools. This one is a little bit more point form. It can be a little bit more personalized. So if I asked it to do an email or something like that, it might be a little bit more personalized. It has a little bit more personal feel to it, we'll just say. And then I tried recently using Claude, and it is very point form, I found using it. I think it would work well on processes and procedures and things like that. So that is sort of using the same prompts across three different tools just to see how it works. It was just a pure experiment on my side just to see. Having said that, I only have a paid version of ChatGPT. I don't have the paid version of Gemini or Claude. And when you have the paid version, it does give you a little bit more, you can actually feed some stuff in the background about your profile and stuff like that, which helps feed the information coming out. Having said that, when I was doing my last batch of videos and podcasts, I actually did use all of them because it really made sense to me to, you know, expand my own knowledge and ideas so that it wasn't just sticking with, what's coming out of my mind and what's coming out of ChatGPT. I wanted to see if it was a little bit more all-encompassing. It was not that vastly different, just so you know. And I'll probably just stick with ChatGPT. I do like Gemini. Um, Claude, not quite. And maybe it's because I haven't used it enough. And, the more you use these, the easier it is for it to respond to you. It learns from you a little bit, especially if you have the paid versions. So that is how I use AI. There are many, many ways you can use AI. And remember, this is about making life simpler. Flow and ease is where it's at, right? So I would love to know your take on AI. How are you using it in your business? There's so many different ways to use AI in your business. I just give you a few today and how I use it in mine. Love to hear from you. Love for you to hit the like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on the podcast, subscribe to it so you catch all the episodes as they get released. And remember, everything in life can be easy if you let it. It's about letting go of the struggle. We do not have to live in hard mode, right? We don't. It's a choice. So with that, I hope you have an amazing day, and we will catch you next time.